Hello and welcome to the Purpose Rwanda show with me, Irma Ihumure, your host, here on KC2. Today, I am excited because we have a wonderful guest. Our guest, he is such a passionate man. Yes, I just said it, he's a man. He's very passionate about the youth empowerment, youth development. He is a mentor, he is a trainer, and before joining the private sector to become an entrepreneur, he served for 15 years in the government. He is an inspiring person, and before I welcome him, I would like to quote him. He said something that really pleased me, and I want to quote his words. This is what he said. He said, "My approach is always to inspire and create an engaging environment that enables people, the youth in particular, to improve what they're doing and to discover their hidden potential." Wow. Our guest is Apollo Munanura. Welcome to the Purpose Rwanda show.
Thank you for having me.
We are pleased to have you.
Thank you very much.
So, please take us back a little bit. Who was Apollo as a young man? Who was Apollo as a teenager?
Thank you. As a teenager, of course, I grew up like majority of the teenagers, very active, very stubborn. In most cases, even getting into trouble with parents and other guardians. Yeah, but I think I enjoyed it. It was the most exciting part of my years, being a teenager. I remember vividly up to the age of 15.
Yeah.
I was staying in a village up to the age of 15.
Wow.
And I think getting into 16, that's when I went to the city.
Okay.
But I think that time that I lived, that I stayed in that part of the country, in the village, that was the most exciting. Exciting in the sense that I learned a lot during that teenagerhood. I had an opportunity at home. We were mixed farmers, so we kept cattle, and we also went into crop growing.
Wow.
So at the age of 15, I really knew most of the work related to cattle keeping and also, cultivation.
Wow.
So it taught me hard work. It taught me to work hard. Whether you wanted or not, you had to work.
Absolutely.
So by age of 15, really, I was a very sharp teenager.
So you were like doing all the housework, and at the same time you were going to school?
Absolutely. Going to school. That life in the village, you study probably from a school in about 5 kilometers or 4 kilometers, but you still, before you go to school, you have to do something. And after school, you have to do something.
Yeah, it's like you're constantly active. You always have something to do.
And weekends, you have to do something.
Yeah.
You keep the cows or you go to the shamba.
Wow.
So basically, that was very exciting. And I think it formed a very strong foundation for my future that I lived later. So yes, it was very good to have even I think that's when the parenting was even at its best. You are with the parents, and the parents are trying everything possible to teach you that as much as possible. The values, especially the values, I think.
Yes,
some of the values that we carried on and kept together up to now are the values that you got from home before you went to the city and started mixing up. Okay,
so you grew up in the village, as you shared with us, and at 15 years old, you moved from the village, you went to the city.
Sure.
And so I would like to know at which point of your life where you became conscious of purpose. Like, have you gotten to that point where you started actually, being very conscious about your purpose, having a meaningful life? Do you remember, or can you recall exactly
I remember,
which point?
I remember when I was going to the city at the age of 15, around 16. I had been promised that when I do well in school, I would go to Kampala.
Oh, okay.
If I did very well in class, I continued to do well because I was doing well, and I remember I did well. And I so had to join my brothers and sisters in the city. And that's when I think I started having a purpose. but it was vague. It was not really a defined purpose.
Yeah.
I think I wanted to leave the village, go study, and become someone.
Yeah.
I wanted to really get educated to the highest level possible, and that was like the purpose, which was not defined. You know that it's never a purpose until you know what about after education. I think a full purpose is about you want to study, but you want to be something, or you want to do something, or you want to become somebody defined, clear. So I think my purpose was not clear until actually I joined the university. So between my secondary school and university, my purpose was to finish education, to study in
that was the focus.
Good schools,
that's all you
good
wanted.
University, and get highly educated. But I think my purpose became much clearer later on when I was in university.
Okay.
Getting exposed and getting to hear from others. I think, you know, in our years, career advisory services were very limited.
Yeah.
So we never had a chance to really be advised and to be, you know, mentored and to be told what we expect in the future and what you can be and how you can purpose your, you know, yourself and how. So yeah, it came much later.
Okay.
But I had an ambition, I think.
Okay. So as you said, back in the days, it wasn't that easy, like to find people who can offer you the guidance. But now it's much easier because we have that. We have career coaches. We have those people who can actually help the young people to know who they are, to discover their potential. So I want you to talk about that. Like, what would you say, like, how is it important for young people to reach out or to be open to that, to know who they are, to discover their purposes? Like, do you see it as a chance that we have right now? Like, what would you say to young people?
It's a big chance. Today, there is no young person, no student should have an excuse whatsoever not to take advantage of the opportunities available, facilities available in terms of what you said, career advisory services, or being helped to discover who they are, to discover what they are good at, to discover their passion, to their career path, to be able to identify the opportunities. Today, absolutely, there is no excuse. And I think it is high time that youth, from as young as 15, from as young as 16, as once you even get into secondary school, you are mature enough to start asking hard questions, start asking yourself hard questions. Who am I? First of all, getting to know your potential from your own inner you. Who am I? What do I want to be? What does it take for me to be what I want to be? State your case. What do I need on my side to help me happen, so that my dream happen? What kind of dreams am I dreaming? Is it a reality? What opportunities are surrounding me? Really, what is my passion? What is in me? Because again, you have to think about your ability, what you are good at, what you can be able to do, your ability, but also your passion, and then the opportunities, and then the realities. Because you may have a passion of something that is not realistic, that is not near you, is not within your reach.
Okay, so having a passion that is not realistic and dreaming big, how do we choose? Because we are taught to dream big, bigger than who we are. But also you are telling us we should be realistic. So how to deal with that?
Dreaming big is absolutely, it's not necessary, but should be something for every young person to dream big. But you know, you have people who dream and think and stop there. You know, you need to dream and then of course wake up and live the dream and work towards that dream. So your dream must meet some of the realistic I'm talking about. I think again, if you are in Rwanda, Rwanda and Singapore, Rwanda and UK, we have different realities.
Yes.
We have different economies.
Yes.
We have different challenges. We have different opportunities. So you can dream globally. You can dream and limit yourself within the boundaries of Rwanda. It depends on the dream you are dreaming. It depends on what the goals you are setting. Because dreams is about setting goals, working towards achieving those goals.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is you can balance. You have what you are good at.
Yes.
I talked about the ability, your personal ability. Because if you're not good at physics, but you have passion for physics, and your ability is potential, you are more of a musician.
Yeah.
But you really have passion for engineering.
Yeah.
But your career path and your passion, your abilities are taking you towards music. Then that's the reality I'm talking about.
Yes, I see. It has to be aligned.
It has to be aligned. And if you are lucky enough and the opportunities available around you also are aligned, then please wake up, take advantage of what is before you, and make use of them. So basically, it starts with you as a young person, as a youth, to empower yourself before others empower you.
Wow.
Because if you need a lift, if you need a lift from me, please get out of your house and be on the road so that I find you. But if you stay in the house, it will be hard for me to know if there is anybody who wants a lift.
Yes.
So empower yourself. I'm talking about getting to know what you want, getting out of your comfort zone, asking those questions I'm telling you, and then the role of others will come in to support you. Your parents, the leaders, the government, and other entities that want to see youth being empowered. They want to find you ready, because opportunities find those who are ready.
Wow.
You cannot find those who are still dreaming a lot. Dream, but focus.
Wow.
Dream and finish. Don't keep on dreaming every day. Dream and finish. Set goals. Know what you want.
Wow.
And then strategize. Have a strategy. As young people, you talk about strategy, people think it is a document of very many pages. The strategy is about planning and implementation and reviewing to see if what you're working is, what you are setting out to do is really working out.
Yeah.
So as young people, you should also have a strategy for your life. You have a strategy for your future.
Wow.
Do some planning, do some little of implementation, and seek support.
Wow.
And let people come and find you on the way towards achieving something.
Wow. For those who has just joined us, we are in a conversation with Apollo Munanura and Munanura. And we are having an interesting conversation. We are talking about building a purposeful society. So come join us and call others, because it's actually good here on the Purpose Rwanda show. So Apollo, as we are talking about building a purposeful society, empowering the youth, helping the youth to know who they are, to embrace a purposeful life. You said something that's very interesting. You said it starts with a question. So I want to ask you, what if I ask myself those questions and I'm like, okay, yes, I want to live a purposeful life, but I'm very limited. I'm poor, I don't have resources, I don't have access to education. I mean, I'm nothing. Maybe those who are in the city, maybe those who are privileged can live a purposeful life, but for me, I'm in my misery and I'm just here. What do you say to that person who is coming before you and actually they are living a different reality? You know, they have so many challenges in front of them. What do you tell them? How do they move from where they are to actually embrace a purposeful life?
Thank you for that question. I think success is not for only the educated. And what do you mean by education? Do you mean formal education? Do you mean degrees, masters? That's not the only way to success. Actually, I know most people who have degrees and masters and mention it, but they are struggling to make it in life. So it comes back to you as an individual. You see, And let me talk to those people who think they never went to school and they should have it as an excuse. It should never be an excuse. You know, those days when we were learning economics, I think even up to now, they used to say 3 factors of production: it is land, it's labor, and capital.
Yeah.
So that's the economics class that really had to, that mindset was not good. That if someone had to succeed, then you had to have available at your disposal capital, land to maybe to set up industry or to farm or even to have labor to do your work. But today, entrepreneurship is another equally important factor of production. Very, very important. Technology. Entrepreneurship coupled with the technology, innovation. So someone who has not gone to school, but probably who knows how to write and read, should be able to be a very good entrepreneur. And you and me know very well outside here that most people who have money and who are very good entrepreneurs are the people who have not gone to school.
Exactly.
Who don't have very many classes. So I think whether you have gone to school, whether you have not gone to school, we have the same chances, we have the same opportunities. It's a question of mindset. How do you view the world? So if you are down there and you think, I've not gone to school and therefore I will not make it, you are really tying yourself.
Yeah.
That's an obstacle, unnecessary obstacle you are creating for yourself.
That's
Unnecessary fears, that is a risk to yourself. Get out, set out your plan, make sure you can think. Because, entrepreneurship is for everybody. It's every gender, every
That's so
age.
true.
Even at 50, you can decide to say, I'm going to do something.
That's so true.
And I think it is important that we invest in the thinking and believing, self-belief, self-drive, self-motivation.
It starts with yourself.
It starts with you. Don't set boundaries for yourself. Don't say, I did. If you are educated, well and good, it is very good because you actually enterprise what you studied. If you did IT, you will start business in IT. If you did engineering, you may want to start business in engineering because you actually want to do business in what you studied and what you know. But even if you need to go to school, like in Rwanda, we have very, very, very amazing examples of people who are doing very well, and you not ask them those papers.
That's so true.
So it shouldn't be a limitation at all.
Yes.
It should be a question of standing up and going for it. And mindset change.
Yes.
How people thought many, many years ago should change.
It should change because, as you said, it comes back to what you think. How do you think about yourself? How do you view the world? Because if your mindset is very limited, then you can't achieve more.
But maybe what everybody can do, including government, to such people.
Yes.
The youth who have not gone to school, and being both those who have gone to school and those who have not gone to school, it's continued empowerment, to empower them, to build their capacity. Building capacity which is outside the schools, the university, which is not formal education, but capacity, targeted capacity building. Relevant skills that these youth need. Because look, Africa is demographically a young continent.
That's so true.
It is experiencing rapid growth population.
Yeah.
And so actually studies show that by 2050 the ages between 15 and 35 will have doubled to 850 million people.
Wow.
That's not bad. Economically speaking, for me, I think it's not bad. It's not even a threat, only if we empower them. If we start empowering today the African youth, of course Rwanda is part of Africa now, I also include Rwanda.
Yeah.
If we start working out a strategy of having a strategy of empowering youth beginning now, and giving them the relevant skills, and helping them to embrace technology and innovation, and really engaging them in entrepreneurial skills and entrepreneurial activities, then the numbers will not have a problem. The numbers will be turned into energy, massive energy, that will integrate economic growth. And that economic growth, of course, will lead to shared prosperities. But if we don't, If we don't empower these youth, you see the population is really growing. If we
growing,
don't work out on a
yes.
strategy to give the youth what they need to prosper economically, then our young people will remain on the margins of the formal economy. That's the problem. So we have to start doing something.
Yeah, so it's like there is a role to play.
Of course.
The role that has to be played by leaders.
Absolutely.
As long as, you know, the youth can embrace that life, the youth can, you know, can wake up and be like, oh, we want to start living purposefully, we want to be a youth of vision and all that. But there is also a responsibility that the leaders have in empowering the youth, in helping them, in doing the best that they can to create the best environment for them to flourish.
Yes, absolutely. The leaders must provide a supporting environment.
Yes.
Supporting environment, I mean providing policies, good policies.
Yes.
Policies to do with access to finance.
Yes.
I think the environment to do with good laws and programs, empowerment programs, mentorship. That's the empowerment again. I think empowerment is very, very important.
Yes.
Give them training.
The training,
specific
yes.
training.
Yes.
Advocating and networking for them globally. Each country should do the networking. We need, you know, partnership and collaboration are not only necessary, but they are powerful, powerful tools to the youth can use to attain their shared goals, shared vision. And I think most African youth have shared goals, shared objectives. And it's high time that we need to, they need to integrate, they need to really collaborate, they need strategic partnerships. And government can come in. So supporting environment, a conducive environment for them. And I'm talking programs, good policies, infrastructure, like we are doing youth in Rwanda. The IT is really robust, you know.
Yes.
Access to finance is almost a reality for most of the youth across the country. And then I think what is needed is constantly getting to know what relevant skills do we give to our youth. Because 21st century skills are very, very confusing and very, very complicated. We don't have to continue, you know, the kind of training and capacity building that we have been used to. No, it's about what you want today and what you want to use it for, and the challenge you are facing, the challenge you want to overcome, the goals you want to attain is what the skill set you want to be able to achieve that. So you have, it's a capacity intelligence. You have capacity building intelligence. What do I need to do? What do I need today? What do I need tomorrow? What do I need to solve? Okay, it's like medicine. The medicine you take today is not the same medicine you may take tomorrow, even if it is the same disease, because you know resistance of the disease. So the medics, the scientists are always in research. Even the variant of COVID variant is now changing shapes. They always say, does this vaccine, we need to be able to work on this variant. They are always trying to test. So you cannot be comfortable and think that the training you gave 5 years ago to a group of entrepreneurs is the same kind of training you should be able to provide. Maybe 80% yes, 20% you need to change. So, yeah.
Wow. That's just, you know, wonderful. I think you covered a lot of things. You just covered like the role of the leaders in helping the youth. And I think that's one of the major keys in building a purposeful society, as it is the topic of our conversation. You have touched how the youth should behave in embracing that kind of life, how they should start by asking themselves questions, how they should start by believing in themselves, empowering themselves, not necessarily needing, you know, the outside influence. They should start actually by influencing themselves, by embracing the right mindset, by embracing the right thoughts. So I think that leads us to the end, but before I let you go, I want you to tell us briefly, what are your plans for the youth? What are your future plans for the youth? I know you have done so many things to impact the youth, especially here in Rwanda. I would like to know, what should we expect from you? What's coming? I know there are a lot of people viewing us right now, especially young people. So what should they expect from you?
Thank you very much. I started working with youth about 12 years ago, but that was part of the work that I was supposed to do, that I was paid for to do.
Okay.
But within a few years, it almost became a passion. I ended up being passionate about working with the youth because of the impact that I was seeing, the results, the transformation that all of us that were involved in this kind of youth development agenda, we were all excited, all the people I were working with. You know, those days, entrepreneurship, for example, was a very new phenomenon in Rwanda. It was still new, so we started, all of us, with my colleagues in government that we were working with, and we enjoyed every moment, every step. Personally, I really was excited. So from then, I've been working with youth, whether it is when I was still in government, even after when I left government, working in my own, I've been working with youth. And I don't see myself stopping unless I don't have a way to. Today, I'm also privileged to work closely with Purposeful Rwanda on the advisory part, which gives me an opportunity to continue contributing towards the youth empowerment. There are other organizations also informally I work with on a volunteer basis to try and support the youth development initiatives. But yes, who knows the future? I think I leave it open. Many youth consult me, we talk on phone, we meet, we mentor, we do a lot of mentoring with other colleagues of mine. And yes, I'm looking forward to continue giving my modest contribution to youth empowerment agenda in this country, whichever way.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you for your time. It was a wonderful conversation, and we look forward to inviting you again.
Thank you very much.
Because we believe the youth is the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you very much, Apollo.
Thank you.
This was a conversation with Apollo Munanura with Purpose Rwanda show. And I hope you all learned something. I hope you enjoyed. I personally enjoyed it very much because I was inspired. So I'm looking forward to setting another date with you all here on KC2 at 7 p.m. on Saturday. We have young people who are already in their purposes. Actually, they have embraced a purposeful life and they are about to declare their purposes. So I'm inviting you to watch and be inspired.
My name is Baron. Welcome to the Purpose Rwanda show. This is Purpose Sowing. Here we get to meet different agents of transformation, declaring their life purposes, declaring their life goals. And this very evening, I'm very privileged to meet with one of the most beautiful people that I know, one of the most purposeful, talented, vision-sighted. Man, this person, she's powerful. I don't want to introduce her. I want her to have the privilege, I want her to have her full anointing of introducing herself. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
Me too.
You look amazing.
Yeah, same to you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to let you have your beautiful time of telling them exactly who you are and what you do.
Okay, my name is Sandra Bella and I'm part of Partakers. It's a community organization that deals with mental health and educating the youth about issues concerning mental health.
Yeah, mental health.
Yes.
It's one of the most underrated issues. Let me break it down in Africa. Why do you think mental health, is underrated?
Mental health is underrated by Africans, many Africans, because they don't have the clear understanding of what is mental health, first of all. And it's probably because of the traditions and our customs. Some of them, they do not see it in the way that it is. They try to justify the reasons behind the issues that are coming from the mental health, such as traumas and all those things. When they happen, they try to justify it as other normal things. They take it in a normal way, which is not right. This is a very serious issue that Africans, our communities, that they have to recognize it and deal with it.
Sandra, I want to know, at the partakers, I want to know the exact activities and the exact issues that you people are addressing and the exact target group.
When we started this whole thing, we focused only on the youth, because we are all like in the age of between 20 and 25. So we were like, okay, this is the thing that we face, all of us. We have friends, we have schoolmates and all that, and they all face these kind of problems. Let's talk about this. So we targeted the youth at first, but later on we started being exposed to other people, and we saw that it's not only the youth that are affected by this problem, even the adults, they also face this kind of issue. So our target is also like expanding from day to day.
Where do you see partakers in like 5 years from now?
Wow. 5 years from now, according to our vision and what we stand for, we want to build an impacting generation, a serving generation, a powerful generation that can stand on their own and speak their minds. You know, these mental issues, they cloud them, they cover them, they do not expose what they really do.
So as partakers, do you have challenges? Do you face some challenges in the course of the work that you do?
Always financial, because the things we do, most of us are still students, and we don't have like a stable income source, and time to. There are so many activities, all of them, they are studying, school, mixing with these things that we are doing. It requires time, concentration, and all of those things. So it's those are some of the challenges that we face.
Lastly, but not least,
Okay.
I want to know something.
Yeah.
Given everything, given all good, how can the partakers empower the communities they live in?
We first started with cultivating people, like we help them to recognize their purposes. There are some people, some few, that I recommended them, we did recommend them to join Purpose Rwanda. Yeah, we direct them because Purpose Rwanda deals with recognizing your purpose and achieving it and all that. So we help them, like we talk about mental issues, we talk to them about the issues they are facing, that clouding judgment, it clouds your purpose and everything. And then after helping them recognize their issues, we help them, okay, now you know what is going on, you know what is your problem, okay, these are the steps of how to deal with it. Aside from these, all of these issues that are clouding you, there are other capabilities in you. You have this, you have that, you have this, you can do more than just what you believe in.
Okay.
So yeah.
Thank you so much. So the partakers, do you have any social media accounts where people can get to follow you or meet you? You can tell us where we can find you.
Yeah, we can be reached through our social media accounts. We have an Instagram account under The Partakers, and Facebook account, The Partakers too, and the YouTube channel, The Partakers TV.
Thank you so much, Bella, for being with us, for being on the show. That has been Bella telling us about their life goals and life purposes as a partaker, a group of young people determined with the purpose of addressing mental health issues, one of the most underrated down here in Africa. I've been your host, Baron Dixon. This is the Purpose Rwanda show. Keep it logged in, KC2 là pour vous.
That was Bella and Baron in a conversation talking about mental health. Bella and her group, they decided to live their purpose, which is to reach out and help the young people. You have heard her talking about what they do, talking about the inspiration she got. And I think that's a very good thing as a young lady and her friends to come together and decide to do something to help the youth. And they believe they're living their purpose. Remember, you're not living your purpose if you're not doing something to bless others. Your purpose is always beyond you. This is the Purpose Rwanda show, and we are learning more about discovering our purposes, living out our purposes, creating a society that is living a purposeful life. Thank you very much for joining us on today's conversation here on Purpose Rwanda show on KC2. Thank you for being with us. It was such an inspiring moment, a learning moment. As I have promised you, every day is learning day. We have to become life learning people, lifetime learners, as I often call myself. Thank you very much, all of you, ladies and gentlemen, the youth, the elderly. I know you are following us here on KC2, and I'll see you next time. Thank you very much.